Exam Scholar, Real Estate Edition.
Question 1. An arrangement made to repay delinquent installments or advances is called A. Repayment plan, B. Settlement plan, C. Debt installment notice, D. Debt division plan. Answer. An arrangement made to repay delinquent installments or advances is simply called a repayment plan. Question 2. The amount of principal that has not yet been repaid is called A. The balance, B. The remaining balance, C. The outstanding note, D. The loan remaining. Answer. B. The remaining balance is the amount of principal that the lendee has not paid yet. Question 3. The process of paying off one loan with the proceeds from a new loan using the same property as security is called A. Refinance transaction, B. Resettlement transaction, C. Redouble transaction, D. Loophole transaction. Answer. A. This type of process is known as a refinance transaction. Question 4. This type of deed transfers without warranty whatever interest or title a grantor may have at the time the conveyance is made. A. Quitclaim deed, B. Warranty deed, C. Trust deed, D. Special warranty deed. Answer. A quitclaim deed transfers without warranty whatever interest or title a grantor may have at the time the conveyance is made. Usually used by family members, divorcing spouses, and people well acquainted with each other. Question 5. The payment change date is A. The date when a new monthly payment amount takes effect on an adjustable rate mortgage or graduated payment mortgage. B. The date when a new monthly payment amount takes effect on an fixed rate mortgage or graduated payment mortgage. C. The date when a new monthly payment amount takes effect on an adjustable rate mortgage or balloon payment mortgage. D. The date when a new monthly payment amount takes effect on an fixed rate mortgage or balloon payment mortgage. Answer. A. The date when a new monthly payment amount takes effect on an adjustable rate mortgage or graduated payment mortgage is called the payment change date. Question 6. What is the definition of a note in terms of real estate? A. A legal document requiring a borrower to repay a mortgage loan at a stated interest rate during a specified period of time. B. A legal document requiring a signature by both buyers and sellers that allows for the transfer of real property. C. A legal document requiring a borrower to repay a portion of a mortgage loan at a stated time in a lump sum. D. None of these. Answer. A. A note in terms of real estate is a legal document requiring a borrower to repay a mortgage loan at a stated interest rate during a specified period of time. Question 7. The interest rate banks charge to their preferred customers is called A. The prime rate, B. The preferred rate, C. The priority rate, D. The graduated rate. Answer. A. The prime rate is the rate the banks charge their preferred customers for loans. Question 8. This is given by a commercial bank or other financial institution for a certain time and certain amount. A. Line of credit, B. Mortgage, C. Note, D. Bank account. Answer. A. A bank or other financial institution gives out a line of credit for a certain time period and for a certain amount. Question 9. This limits the amount the interest rate can increase or decrease over the life of the mortgage. A. A life cap, B. An interest limit, C. A mortgage cap. D. A fixed cap. Answer A. A life cap limits the amount of change the interest rate can fluctuate over the life of a mortgage. Question 10. This is a type of ownership where individuals actually own the building or unit they live, but common areas are owned jointly with the other members of the development or association. A. Condominium. B. Planned unit development. C. Planned condominium development. D. Apartment conversion development. Answer B. In a planned unit development, the individuals actually own the building or unit they live in, but the common areas are owned jointly with the other members of the development or association. Question 1. When a loan is fully amortized by equal monthly payments of principal and interest, the amount applied to the principal A. Increases while the interest payment decreases by a constant amount. B. Increases by a constant amount. C. Stays the same. D. Decreases while the interest payment increases. Answer A. When amortizing a loan by equal monthly payments, the amount applied to the principal gradually increases while the amount applied to interest gradually decreases. Question 2. In order to bring court action to collect a commission earned for negotiating a month-to-month rental, the broker A. Must have a written listing signed by the owner of the property. B. Could not have charged more than 25% of the first month's rent for his services. C. Must have been registered with the real estate commissioner as a rental broker. D. He'd prove only an oral agreement to pay a commission. Answer D. Contracts which are to be performed in less than 1 year, such as a month-to-month rental, and agreement leading up to the final contract, listing for a month. Question 3. A primary source of funds for residential mortgage financing is A. Federal Home Loan Bank. B. Federal Savings and Loan Insurance Corporation. C. Federal Savings and Loan Associations. D. Federal Housing Administration. Answer C. The primary source of funds for residential mortgages is federal savings and loan associations. The money ultimately comes from household savings, but the sources for the loans are the savings and loan associations. Question 4. A balloon payment is a part of A. Fully amortized loan. B. Final payment made on any loan secured by a trust deed. C. Partially amortized loan. D. None of the above. Answer C. A balloon payment is defined as the final payment when it is an amount more than twice the smallest payment and the loan is classified as partially amortized as opposed or fully amortized. Question 5. What actions can the Federal Reserve Board take to increase the supply of money and credit in the national economy? A. Lower the cash reserves required by banks which are members of the Federal Reserve Bank system. B. Sell U.S. government securities in the open market. C. Raise the discount rate charged banks which are members of the Federal Reserve Bank system. D. Increase the requirements of banks which are members of the Federal Reserve Bank system. Answer A. If the Federal Reserve Board lowers the reserves required of member banks, it will increase the amount of money available in the economy. Question 6. When reading an amortization table/chart, the amount shown as the payment based on a given loan amount, rate of interest and term indicates A. Yield. B. Both principal and interest. C. Interest. D. Principal. Answer B. An amortization chart, Table will show the monthly payment, which includes both principal and interest required to pay off a loan of a given amount, rate of interest and term. Question 7. The security of a loan made on real property depends upon A. The borrower's credit. B. The value of the property being liened. C. The stability and value of money. D. All of the above. Answer. B. The property is the underlying security for the loan. Question 8. The requisites of a grant deed when compared to a land contract of sale may differ with respect to A. Interest conveyed. B. Signatures of the principal parties. C. Designation of purchased price. D. All of the above. Answer. D. A grant deed and a contract of sale differ in the signatures of the principals, as a grant deed requires only the signature of the grantor, but the contract of sale requires the signatures of the vendor and vendee. They generally do not disclose the purchase price in a grant deed but must in the contract of sale because it is a contract. A grant deed has implied warranties and the contract of sale has no implied warranties. Question 9. In advertising a listed property for sale, a broker may not legally A. Run an ad which does not give the listing price of the property. B. State the kind of financing available. C. Fail to state the street address of the property. D. Run an ad giving the impression that he is the owner of the property. Answer. D. For a broker licensee to use an ad which gives the impression that the property is being sold by the owner himself/herself when the broker has, in fact, secured a listing on the property, would constitute substantial misrepresentation. This kind of action is unlawful. Question 10. When an owner of real estate sells the property to someone else, which of the sticks in the bundle of legal rights is he or she using? A. Exclusion. B. Legal enjoyment. C. Control. D. Disposition. Answer. D. To dispose of something is disposition. The legal term often applied to this stick in the bundle of rights is alienation. It is a right often taken for granted but did not exist in feudal times or in countries in which the land belonged to the people, the government. Question 1. Under FHA standards, the minimum ceiling height for a single-family residential construction is A. 7.5 feet. B. 8 feet. C. 8.5 feet. D. 9 feet. Answer. A. Although most ceiling heights are 8 feet, the FHA minimum requirement is 7.5 feet. Question 2. Real estate assets are usually acquired by using A. The results of long-term and short-term gains. B. The supply and demand of equity capital. C. Equity funds and money market funds. D. Debt funds and equity funds. Answer. D. There are mutual funds and real estate investment trusts that do acquire real estate assets, either debt assets, mortgage assets, or equity assets, ownership assets. Question 3. From a historical standpoint, the major function, objective and aim of the FHA program has been provided by A. Title I. B. Title II. C. Title III. D. Title IV. Answer. B. The largest and most important activity of FHA is the insurance, under Title II, of mortgages for home purchase and construction. Question 4. Examples of negotiable instruments are as follows, except A. A mortgage secured by a promissory note. B. A draft. C. A check. D. An installment note. Answer. A. The note is negotiable but not the mortgage. Question 5. A form that is usually prepared to allow a real estate licensee to act as an agent for all principal parties to the transaction involved is A. An agreement of sale. B. An exchange agreement. C. A loan broker's statement. D. A real property security statement. Answer. B. Under an exchange agreement, the real estate licensee acts for both parties. This is one instance where he could earn a commission from each party to the transaction. Question 6. The hiring of a specialist in property management would be justified by A. Absentee ownership. B. Technological advances in building concepts. C. Vacancy factor higher than normal. D. Urbanization. Answer. A. In absentee ownership. The owner lives away from the property and is not able to adequately supervise it. Question 7. Which of the following is not one of the four important elements of value? A. Scarcity. B. Appreciation. C. Utility. D. Transferability. Answer. B. The four elements of value are utility, scarcity, demand, and transferability. Question 8. Madison is a mortgage loan broker. When setting up a loan, Madison differs from Carter, a mortgage banker, in which of the following ways? A. Carter is authorized by law to make larger loans than Madison. B. Madison is exempt from the Finance Code. C. Madison does not normally use his own funds in arranging a loan. D. Carter deals primarily in loans which must be recorded. Madison's loans are normally not recorded. Answer. C. A mortgage loan broker normally does not loan his own funds, but negotiates the placement or sale of a loan with a particular lender. A mortgage banker generally has the funds with which to make a loan. Question 9. The following are correct statements concerning an option, except A. The optioner must perform if the optionee exercises his option within the period specified. B. The optionee must perform if the optioner exercises his option within the period specified. C. To exercise the option, the buyer must pay the amount specified in the option. D. The consideration for granting the option must be actual. Answer. B. The question is a negative question asking for a false statement concerning options. Answer 2 states, the optionee must perform, which is false. The optionee receives and the optioner must perform. The optionee is the one who exercises the option. Answers 1, 3, and 4 are all correct. Regarding answer 2, there must be some consideration. It may be money or an act. In a lease option, it often states that there is the option to purchase the property for $100,000. The consideration is the leasing of the property. The leasing of the property is sufficient consideration upon the part of the optionee. An option must contain all the terms of the purchase similar to a deposit receipt. At the time of exercise, all that the optionee must do is state, I will buy according to the option terms. Question 10. The provision that states the realtor shall not publicly disparage the business practice of a competitor appears in the A. Real estate law. B. Commissioner's rules and regulations. C. NAR Code of Ethics. D. Business and Professions Codes. Answer. C. This provision appears in the National Association of Realtors Code of Ethics. Question 1. Which of the following real estate syndicates requires 100 or more investors? A. Limited partnership. B. Joint venture. C. Corporation. D. Real estate investment trust. Answer. D. A real estate investment trust, which is organized under federal laws, must have 100 or more investors. Question 2. A purchaser of real property utilizing leverage is A. Using the maximum amount of his own money to purchase property. B. Using the maximum amount of borrowed money to purchase property. C. Making the maximum down payment for the property. D. None of the above. Answer. B. Leverage is the use of credit, borrowed money, to purchase a property. When a property is 80% leveraged, it means a debt on the property is 80% of its value. The owner's equity is 20%. Question 3. A licensed contractor purchased 8 lots in a new subdivision and constructed 8 homes on the lots. He sold the 8 homes to various buyers and took back a $5,000 second trust deed on each of them. He would now like to sell the trust deeds within the year of their creation at a 20% discount. In order for him to do this, he A. Needs a real estate license. B. Must sell them through a real property securities dealer. C. Does not need a permit. D. Must deliver a real property security statement. Answer. A. These second trust deeds are classified as promotional notes and are real property securities. The contractor must obtain a permit to sell them, and since he is handling 8 in one calendar year, he is considered to be in the business and must have a license to sell them through a licensee. A dealer's endorsement is not required. Question 4. Which of the following statements is correct concerning a land contract? A. It is used when the seller wishes to convey title without a trustee relationship. B. It is similar to a lease in that the buyer has a right of possession but no rights in the title. C. The buyer has absolute assurance of receiving title upon performance of the contract. D. It is the least secure method of financing real property for the buyer because the seller has retained the title and the buyer is merely the equitable owner. Answer. D. A land contract is a security device used in financing real property, but it is the least secure method for the buyer, since the seller does retain the title. The buyer is the equitable owner, which means that he can use the property. While the seller retains the title, the buyer has rights in that title, and he often records the land contract to give public notice of those rights. Question 5. The liquidity of a borrower is generally determined by a loan officer in considering A. Debt to equity. B. Income total assets. C. Current assets to current liabilities. D. Fixed assets to current assets. Answer. C. A loan officer, in determining the liquidity of a borrower, is attempting to determine his ability to pay off current bills. Current assets to current liabilities would be the test he would use. Question 6. The owner of a property who signed a listing with a broker for 30 days was killed in an accident before the listing expired. The listing is A. No good as an authorization but binding if a buyer is secured later. B. Still in effect as the owner's interest was clear. C. Binding upon owner's heirs to carry out his promises. D. Terminated by the death of the owner. Answer. D. All personal service contract, such as listings, are terminated immediately upon death of either party. Question 7. Which of the following would usually be considered real property? A. Timber. B. Airspace above the land. C. Unharvested crops already contracted for. D. Land-filled dirt being moved. Answer. B. Of the choices given, airspace above the land is considered real property. Question 8. Conventional loans are distinguished from FHA-insured loans by all of the following except A. Conventional loans provide for a lower loan-to-value ratio. B. FHA loans generally provide for a longer repayment period. C. Conventional loans always permit a deficiency judgment, while FHA loans never allow them. D. Interest rates on FHA loans are generally lower than those on conventional loans. Answer: C. Deficiency judgments are not allowed on purchase. Question 9. Brother and sister purchase property as joint tenants. Later, the sister marries and deeded her interest to herself and her husband. A. The joint tenancy continues to exist in all three persons. B. The brother remains as a joint tenant. C. The joint tenancy is terminated. D. The sister's deed to her husband is voidable by the brother. Answer: C. Joint tenancy require the four equal unities of time, title, interest and possession between two or more parties. Once any of the four unities is broken, it can no longer be a joint tenancy. Question 10. Theft as it relates to real property includes all of the following except A. Entering and removing part of the realty. B. Defrauding by misrepresentation. C. Signing another's name without authorization. D. Carrying away any portion of the security of a mortgage with the intent to defraud the mortgage. Answer: C. Signing another person's name as forgery. It may lead to theft in our way of thinking, but is not defined as such in the Penal Code. Question 1. Which of these instruments does not contain the interest rate, loan amount, term of the loan, and monthly payments? A. Mortgage. B. Deed. C. Lease. D. None of these. Answer: D. None of the listed instruments contain the interest rate, loan amount, term of the loan, or monthly payments. The type of instrument that does contain these is the note. Question 2. Anthony receives a tax bill that is related to cost per front foot and amount of benefit he receives. This type of tax bill would be called A. Eagle. B. Special assessment. C. Front foot assessment. D. None of these. Answer: B. Special assessments are generally repayment to the government for installation of curbs, gutters, and other enhancements. The cost of these is based on the amount of benefit that a particular property receives from the enhancements. Question 3. Retaining a property while at the same time using it as collateral to secure a loan is called A. Promissory. B. Hypothecation. C. Accretion. D. Collation. Answer: B. The act of using property to secure a loan while at the same time retaining the use and benefit of the property is called hypothecation. Question 4. In which clause does it allow for a buyer to be free of recourse in the event of foreclosure? A. Ad hominem clause. B. Dispersal clause. C. Exculpatory clause. D. Extradition clause. Answer: C. An exculpatory clause acts as a non-recourse loan. This means the lender can only look to the property for the satisfaction of the loan. The buyer is not personally responsible for the note. Question 5. Referral fees are legal to be paid if they are given to A. Licensed brokers. B. Licensed agents. C. Anyone. D. None of these. Answer: A. Referral fees are legal to be paid only to licensed brokers. Question 6. The secondary mortgage market consists of which major participants? A. Fannie Mae. B. Ginnie Mae. C. FHLMC. D. All of these? Answer. D. Fannie Mae, Ginnie Mae, and FHLMC are all major participants in the secondary mortgage market. Question 7. What does a general warranty deed contain? A. Covenants that warrant the new owners undisturbed and clear title. B. Covenants that include provisions of a quitclaim deed. C. Covenants regarding quiet enjoyment. D. None of these. Answer. A. Covenants that warrant the new owners undisturbed and clear title are contained in a general warranty deed. Question 8. A general agent has full authority to A. Bind the principal to all agreements. B. Act as attorney at law. C. Act in the bounds of power of attorney. D. Only bind principal to agreements with written consent from the principal. Answer. A. A general agent is a representative of a principal that has the full authority to bind the principal to all agreements. Question 9. The income approach to appraisal uses which kind of rate? A. Market. B. Capitalization. C. Index. D. Consumer. Answer. B. The capitalization rate, or cap rate, is used in the income approach to appraisal and is an analysis of how much investors are willing to spend in a certain neighborhood in return for a certain amount of income. Question 10. Which of these is an example of a general agent that has the authority to make binding decisions on behalf of the principal? A. An attorney at law. B. A real estate agent. C. A real estate broker. D. A property manager. Answer. D. A property manager is a good example of a general agent who has been empowered to make binding decisions on behalf of the principal.
Exam Scholar, Real Estate Edition.